Today, I light up your world. I often talk about adding people and interiors into coaches, but a lot of the time, this almost seems in vain a little, as it's not too easy to see the work that you've done. If only there was a way that could both draw attention to it and make it easy to see. Well, zing! I have something for you.
Coach lighting.
If you look online for coach lighting kits, there are a few about, but they are a little bit pricey, for around £15 per coach for a flicker-free bi-directional coach lighting unit. But I'm going to show you a way to spend around £25, but have enough supplies to light up 10 coaches. For real. So, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll share my magic. So, what do you need? LED strip that can be cut, 1000 microfarad capacitors, a 12 volt voltage regulator, a bridge rectifier diode, a 2 kilo ohm resistor, some electrical paint, some DCC Concepts 2mm spring pickups, some Veroboard, and a little bit of fine wire. So, let's get started. First step is to look to your wheels. The coach you're working on needs to have full metal wheels and axles for obvious reasons, and ideally it'll only have insulations on one side. But axles like that are quite a bit more expensive than the technique I'm about to show you. So simply remove one of the wheels, thread on the pickup coil, put the wheel back on, gauging against other wheels or a back-to-back gauge if you have one to get the correct width. Then take your electrical paint and paint over the insulation on one side only, making sure that the paint makes a good connection on both axle and wheel. You need to do this on all the axles for that vehicle, and in this case, that's 4. Next, we move on to the Veroboard. This was cut down before soldering the components on. This was done with a Dremel and a cutting disc. Then I installed all the components to this diagram. I cut the tracks that needed to be cut first using a 3mm drill bit, and then all the components were just soldered on. I have plenty of length on both of the input wires from the axles and the output wires for the lights, as it's easier to cut down the length than it is to resolder a new length of wire in. Also, always make sure and then make sure again that the capacitor is installed the right way around, as otherwise you'll be greeted with a very loud bang when you first put the coach on the track, and it may or may not damage the model that it's in. Next, we cut the lighting to size. Compare the lighting strip against the length of the coach and find the cut mark that is closest to the length you desire. In this instance, it's the one that will fit inside the compartments. Just cut using some sharp scissors. Now we have to work out how this is all going to fit inside a coach. So a toilet cubicle or luggage compartment are great places to start. For this example, I'm using the toilet compartment. A little bit of cutting was required to get it into place, and then we're all good to go. I also cut away a gap in the compartment walls so that the lighting strip could sit in without causing the coach body to sit a lot higher and not fit correctly. I just used some cutters and cut a little notch in the moulding. I then took this opportunity to test the unit on the rails, as I didn't want to completely finish the model and then put it on the track and find it wasn't working. Once it was tested, I drilled some holes out the bottom of the unit so that I could feed the wires to the wheels. And I then glued it all in place. The light strip was held in place with some super glue, and the electrical unit was held in place with some Yoo-hoo.
Big summer blowout!
Now, we just have to connect the wires to the pickups. When the wheels are refitted, make sure that one bogey's worth of wheels all have the pickups on one side, and the other bogey has the pickups on the other side. Drill some holes on the chassis that will feed the wires to the bogies in a good place. So this end furthest from the unit, I drilled on this angled piece so that the wire won't get squeezed too much and cause a potential issue when fitting the chassis to the body. And then this end, I drilled through here as it was super close to the bogie. Once I had the wires through, I clipped the body back to the chassis, and this gave me the final length of wire that I had to play with. This was then soldered to the pickups and used another small length to join the two axles together for better connectivity. And we're done. Decent flicker-free coach lighting for a rock bottom price. These will look great on your layout in your trains, and be sure to let me know if you try this technique, as I'd love to see it. And as you've made it this far, be sure to check out some of our other videos.